Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning also for the country. It's I'm so glad to meet you again.
Yes.
Uh, to all of participants international virtual course 2022. On this session, I will explain about the smelting technology, and I will partner with my colleague Pak Fajar. I will show you my presentation, but I think I have a problem nih Pak Imam. About
Sorry, Pak?
I will share my presentation.
Yes. Okay, maybe you have to, Danes, make Pak Wiono as a host so he can share. Yes, we can see Pak Wiono.
Okay. In this session, I will explain for the discussion material about tin smelting, especially in our plant in our company, PT Timah. PT Timah, one of the government industry in smelting in Indonesia. In the other company, they also produce like ferro, zinc, and the other. In our company, we produce tin ingot. This is my short education from ITB, and now my position as head of metallurgy unit PT Timah in Muntok Bangka Barat, South Sumatra, and my competency mineral sustainability expert. This is the sort of the melting technology, past and the future. We know that the blast furnace, caldo, rotary furnace, reverberatory furnace, and also electric furnace. Now, today, at the moment, PT Timah, our company, operate a reverberatory furnace. But in this year, or the end of this year, PT Timah, our company will operation Ausmelt. This is the sort of explanation about the blast furnace.
Pak Wiono, can you share also the sound?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. When you share the screen, it should be option also share the sound because we didn't hear the sound of the video, Pak. Maybe we can replay. Yes.
TRT holding mechanism, bottom hydraulic draft rotating device, combustion and refining lancer, oxygen station, and
This is
fuel
the
station.
caldo furnace.
Driven by the
I
gear
think
reducer on flat frame,
some
TBRC
of
furnace
smelter use
tilts to
this
different working
smelter
positions for
for
automatic
zinc,
feeding,
yeah,
melting, refining, slag off, and casting. After feeding, the furnace tilts to smelting
feeding
position
system with
and
the
continues rotating 330 degree, driven by the hydraulic motor at the bottom. It ensures the full mixing molten withdraws to intensify the reaction and improve precious metal recovery. The furnace is equipped with a combustion lancer and a refining lancer. Oxidation and reduction takes place in one furnace to avoid metal loss during transfer. As melting body, TRT holding mechanism, bottom hydraulic drive rotating device, combustion and refining lancer.
like maybe I think you have to go to the nutrition or calculus but now we use buying our material. I think some problem are involved capacity now PT Timah some smelter also using preparatory furnace with the two they have a two part with the 24-hour per batch and capacity 10,000 bulk material. Electric furnace, I think the big problem of the electric furnace is the capacity. Maximum capacity 10,000 bulk material. Different with Ausmelt. Ausmelt, they have big capacity. The capacity of bulk material can reduction maybe 1,000 ton bulk material per day or more. Today we install Ausmelt or top submerged lens. In the end of this presentation, we will discuss about the Ausmelt. Timah or tin, Timah in Indonesia or tin, stannum, SN is used in many alloys. The production of tin can be from the ore or secondary material like scrap. For the extraction of tin provided like by smelter technology and then refining with the recovery parameter. In the other resources, secondary material for tin recycling like tin scrap, tin bronze, and also tin slag. The tin characteristic, it's not easy oxidize in the rust resistant, and it's also a common use in our electronic part, yeah, like handphone, television, and also in pad. Today, the big number of the using for tin, especially for solder, yeah, chemical 70%, tin plate, and also the tin chemical, because they have more characteristic. This is some uses of tin material commonly in Indonesia in our daily, like plate, automotive, electronic component, kitchen equipment, and also food packaging, yeah, also packaging. Okay, this is the background, yeah, background of tin uses, yeah. How big the function of tin in our life, and also the tin they have key function our life and also in around our life. The next presentation, Pak Fajar will explain. Pak Fajar, please join our presentation. Fajar.
Thank you, Pak Yono. Thank you, Pak Yono, for the opportunity that give to me. First of all, I want to say good evening, good afternoon to all of us from around the world. And then I will introduce myself. I am Fajar Ninata. Currently, I am a process engineer in Mentok Metallurgical Unit. And here, I am so glad to be here to sharing about tin processing and tin smelting. And then I'm apologize to turn off my video because my internet connection is unstable. So I will continue Pak Wiono presentation. Okay. Everyone see the
I'm sorry we lost you, Pak. Pak
Okay.
Fajar?
Firstly,
Yes.
I want to explain about business process of PT Timah Tbk. PT Timah is one of integrated mining company in Indonesia. We do complete process how
Yeah, Pak, we cannot hear you. Sorry.
could you hear my
It's
voice,
just on
everyone?
off. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay, guys, sorry. We will wait for a while.
I'm sorry, Pak Imam. We will
Yeah.
come back
Yeah.
because our
Yeah.
internet connection.
Yeah. Pak Wiono, your connection is very good, very clear. But Pak Pak Fajar, it has him have problem.
Pak Imam, can you see our presentation,
Yes.
Pak Imam? Okay.
Yes, Pak Wiono, very clear. Your voice very clear.
Okay, Pak Fajar will continue. Please, Pak Fajar.
Okay, thank you for Pak Wiono for the opportunity to me to explain about tin processing and tin smelting. First of all, I apologize for technical problem, especially in my internet problem. So I will continue the presentation. Everyone could hear my voice clearly?
Yes, now it's very clear, Pak. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I am Fazar Dinata. Currently, I am a process engineer in Mentok Metallurgical Unit. I have around 7 years experience in tin smelter. For my first presentation, I would like to introduce about business process of PT Timah Tbk. PT Timah is one of integrated mining company. We do all of process mining in our company. The first process is exploration. We do exploration in land and sea, and offshore and onshore. From exploration, we get data about the reserve, and then after we got the reserve, we do next step of mining activity. We also do offshore and onshore mining activity. In onshore, we use a lot of mining tools, and in offshore we use KIP, Kapal Isap Produksi, and Kapal Keruk for our mining activity. In mining location, we also do mineral processing to increase the grade of tin concentrate before we bring the tin concentrate into processing plant and smelter. The objective processing in mining location is to optimize the cost of transportation with the higher grade or higher concentration, tin concentration from the mining. We can reduce the cost of transportation. So either in onshore or the offshore, we do mineral processing. We could increase the grade of tin concentrate from less than 1% to 20 to 40, up to 40% of SN. After that, after we mining and do a little bit processing in the mining location, we bring the tin concentrate, low grade tin concentrate, into processing plant. In processing plant, we have a lot of equipment, either dry or wet to equipment processing. The objective or the aim in the mineral processing plant have to objective. The first one is to increase the grade of tin concentrate, and the second one is to separate the associate mineral, especially the precious minerals, from the tin concentrate, and we
collect the precious mineral beside the tin concentrate mineral. We have some specification or required for the tin concentrate before we smelt the tin concentrate in our furnace. Currently in Refurb, our minimum specification or minimum grade tin concentrate is 70%, because in refrigerator we have some problem if the grade of tin concentrate below than 70%, because of agitation in refurb we do manual. If we smelt the tin concentrate below the 70%, for instance, it 50 or below than 50, we will got the more thick of more layer of the slag. It's so difficult to smelt if we have a lot of a more layer, the more thin layer in slag. So we must smelt the tin concentrate minimum at the 70%. Besides the tin concentrate, the grade of tin concentrate, we also impurities is for consideration, because if we smelt the tin concentrate far below from the 70, it means we will got a lot of impurities. It will difficult to refine the impurities if we have a lot of impurities from the low grade tin concentrate. So after we increase the grade of tin concentrate at the mineral processing plant, we will bring into smelter. PT Timah have two smelter. The first one in Mentok, West Bangka, and the second one is situated in Kundur. This is Capri Island, but the bigger plant is in Mentok. Currently, we have 6 refrigerator furnace that have capacity 50 each furnace. And then in Mentok, we also after smelting process, we do refining process until we got the specification of the product. And then we will casting product into tin bullion. In Mentok, we have 5 brand with different purity. The 5 different purity and 5 brand. The brand is with the lead content. After we cast, we sell the tin product into our market. We have to market first in domestic and second in export. But the export is much bigger than domestic market. It's approximately 95% of our market for export, and just 5% our product for domestic. And then we also, as a mining company, that we obey with the regulation from our government, we also do reclamation to make our ex-mining can use for the useful things. This is all from the business process of PT Timah. And then okay, especially this is from tin processing and tin smelting. In the left side on this screen, it is a scope of mineral processing, and the right side of the screen is the smelting and refining scope. Okay, firstly the feed tin ore before we do mineral processing. The input or the feed is low or middle grade. It is below than 70%, as I said before. We must increase the grade of our tin concentrate minimum at the 70. This is our requirement for our tin concentrate. Okay, we must increase the grade of tin concentrate because just I said before, because of our limitation in our smelting technology at the reform. But our next technology in OSMED, it can smelt the lower tin concentrate in the tin grade percentage tin in tin concentrate. Okay, to increase the tin grade in tin concentrate, we do a lot of processing. Commonly, the process is divided to process. The first is wet process, and the second is dry process. The objective for the mineral processing have two objectives. The first one is to increase the grade of tin concentrate, to increase tin concentration in tin concentrate, and the second objective is to collect the precious mineral. There is our process in wet process and dry process. In wet process, we have wet screen, jig harsh, jig cuba, spiral, wet table, rotary dryer. And in the dry process, we have dry screen, dry table, magnetic separator, and high tension separator. We don't use all of the equipment, but we use some of them, depend on the mineral, associate mineral that bring with the tin concentrate. And the principle of separated minerals, or principle to increase the tin concentration in tin concentrate, it's based on physically properties or the chemical properties, but mostly in our plant we just use the different of physical properties from timah with the associate mineral to increase the grade of timah and collect the associate mineral. Physical properties that we use, at least three physical properties. The first one is different of specific gravity, and the second one is conductivity properties or electrical properties, and the third is the magnetic properties. We use the different properties of three properties that I said before to separate the tin minerals. In this case is cassiterite with the associate mineral. From the mineral processing, we will got the cassiterite with minimum grade 70% of SN. when we have got the cassiterite with the 70% of SN, we continue the process to smelting and refining process. In Muntok, the plan of mineral processing and smelter is different, but is still in Muntok. So we deliver the tin concentrate. If the concentrate has a minimum grade 70% of SN to the smelter, and the before the tin concentrate smelted, we do some few preparation. The first one is sampling materials to make sure about the SN content and their impurities. It's very important to us as a metallurgist to decide the composition of tin smelting based on SN content, and then the others content of minerals. We decided amount of reductor. In this case, we use anthracite as our reductor. Why we use anthracite? Because anthracite is a coal that have higher carbon content than the others coal. So we use the anthracite as a reductor to reduction the tin. And beside the reductor, we also add some flux. In this case, mostly we add the limestone as the flux. And then in smelting, we also smelt the circulating material. We call backlog. There is several type of circulating materials. There is dross, dustin, and then hard hat. We recover the circulating materials for to get the higher recovery in our smelting. And then we also recover slag in the second stage of smelting. It's also to increase the recovery of the tin smelting. And then in refining process, in Mentok we have various of facilities in refining. I will explain on the next slide. After refining, when the tin molten meet the required the product, we will cast the tin into the tin bullion. So in this slide, we can see that the mineral processing, we will got the cassiterite as the tin minerals with the higher concentration, higher grade of SN as high as good, as high as possible. When the higher when the grade is higher, it's very good for the next step, especially in smelting, in refining. The grade of concentration will decide the percentage of recovery. If we got the higher higher concentration of tin, we will got the higher recovery ingot easily than lower tin concentrate. Okay, this is our smelting process. In the left corner, this is a composition of tin concentrate. In here we have two different grade of tin concentrate. The first is tin high grade and the second is tin low grade. The tin high grade have a bigger composition of tin than the lower, and then the impurities will be in the low grade. The impurities will be higher than the high grade. This is a picture of tin concentrate. Two different picture. In the left side is a tin high grade and the right side is the low tin grade. From both of picture, we can see clearly that the different tin grade have a different color. On the right side, the tin have a low grade. The color is more bright because of the lot of impurities in here. Before we smelt, we do some preparation. Some preparation. Some preparation. For example, add the additional materials. There is to the additional material that I explained on the before slide. The first is reductor. We use anthracite as a reductor. The anthracite have fixed carbon 68 until 70%. This is a picture of the reductor and flux. With the flux that we use is limestone with the CaO minimum is 54%. And our refurb, we got the energy or heat from the burning of fuel oil. This is our picture of fuel oil storage. And in the right side, this is the flow process of tin smelting. The first one is material mixing for preparation, and then weighing the composition, weighing and then the material composition will be bring into our furnace, and the smelt process will begin when the material composition drop into the furnace. Okay. For the tin smelting, that tin smelting have two stage. In this one is the first stage. In the first stage, we smelt the tin concentrate, and the output from the first stage of tin smelting is crude tin with tin content more than 98%. Besides crude tin, we also got slag with the SN content from 20 to 25. We also got the tin dust from tin smelting, and we will recover the tin dust into our smelting to get the higher recovery. And then after we got crude tin, we do refining process to get the more pure tin. In Mentok, we have three process of refining. The first one is pyro refining. We do pyro refining in some kettle. In the kettle, we melt the crude tin, and then we do some process to reduce the content of iron, copper, arsen, and many more. But before we do pyrorefining, because of the currently tin concentrate has a lot of impurities, we do the eutectic refining first. The eutectic refining first, in here we reduce the lead content from some point. Currently the lead content is around 2000 ppm. In eutectic refining, we will reduce the content of lead. The eutectic refining is happen in the crystallizer. The target of the eutectic refining with content Pb less than 300. After we got the crystal tin with the lead content in 300, we will bring and pouring into the pyro refining kettle. We remelt and then we reduce the others impurities like iron, copper, arsen, and so on. In different process, we in Mentok also have electrolytic refining plant. In electrolytic refining plant, we produce the premium product of tin ingot. There's a 99.99%. The process electrolysis, we have a selective process for the tin, so the product or the result in electrolytic refining, we got the higher purity of the tin. And then after we do the refining process, we will get the tin with some certain require that we set before. After that, we cast into the tin ingot or tin bullion. This is a step of our process for the ore smelting and the first stage of tin smelting until it become the product. And the second smelting, we smelt the first slag from the before process in the same furnace, but we do in conditional process. We don't do the continual process in the same furnace. So we smelt the first slag in some condition, depend on our production plan. We smelt the first slag with the higher temperature, and we will got the hard head as the output and tindas. Hard head and tindas will recover in first stage of smelting with tin concentrate. Tin content in hard head is around 50 until 60%, and tindas is higher. The content is around 68 until 70. This is about tin smelting and refining. And then this is some example. Sorry for the process not. Okay, this is about tin processing. Some example from our tin processing. This is a fit in the top of slide. We can see that the cassette turret have tin or SN content around 11.25 with several associate mineral. We see there are ilmenite, monazite, zircon, and the others minerals. The feed is come from offshore mining or the onshore mining. From the offshore mining, from the offshore mining, we got the wet minerals. So we must dry the minerals into rotary dryer. After we dry the minerals in the rotary dryer, we process the minerals in high tension separator. The high tension separator will separate the tin with the associate mineral that have different properties. As we know, the cassiterite have properties. The properties of cassiterite is conductor. In high tension separator, we separated the cassiterite with the associate mineral who have the non-conductor properties. And here the example minerals with the non-conductor properties is zircon. We can see in here that zircon will be concentrated on conductor, and the minerals with have conductor properties will concentrate in the different place. And then in conductor properties, we got the higher concentration of cassiterite from the 11 to 22. We can also increase the most double the grade of cassiterite. And then next we increase the grade of cassiterite with magnetic separator. In magnetic separator, we separated the cassiterite with the associate mineral. As we know, the cassiterite is non-magnetic, have non-magnetic properties. In here, we separated the cassiterite with the associated minerals that have no magnetic properties. We can see here in left side, it is the minerals that have magnetic properties. We can see the ilmenite in here is concentrated, and the other side, the cassiterite as the non-magnetic minerals also concentrated. And last, for the non-magnetic properties, we process the minerals in Airtable. In here, we process cassiterite and associate mineral with different specific gravity. In here, we got the cassiterite in our target is it in 70%, and here the others mineral, the other side also concentrated. Maybe in here the others minerals is silica or so on that have a lower specific gravity than cassiterite. And the right side, the principle is similar. For to separate the tin with cassiterite with the others minerals, we looking for the different properties. For the minerals with the magnetic properties, we will use magnetic separator because the cassiterite is non-magnetic. It will separate from the minerals that have the magnetic properties. and the air table is same with the in the left side. Principle to separate the tin with the others mineral that have a lower specific gravity. And this is tin ore mineralization. Some example from our long journey experience in Timah. This is several mineralization up until now we got from our long experience. At least there are 12 minerals: cassiterite, ilmenite, zircon, monazite, cyanotime, pyrite, marcasite, siderite, tourmaline, topaz, rutile, and quartz. The principle of separated mineral in mineral processing is separate the minerals with the different properties. In Timah, up until now, we only use physical properties because from right now up until now, the physical properties is enough. Based on physical properties is enough to separate the cassiterite with from the other mineral. But in next in the future, maybe it's difficult to use physical properties, especially in the gravity concentration, because in the future Timah will move from the alluvial to the primary. And the right side we can see here a picture of several minerals. This is a cassiterite in the left corner. This cassiterite, the properties, physical properties, we can see the color is brown, like a brown, and then this is quartz. And then in mineral association in tin, here we also have zircon, and then we also have ilmenite, and then we have precious minerals that monazite, and then we also have pyrite and the others minerals that we presented in the left side. Okay, this is tin ore mineralization. From the before slide, we just know the tin mineral with the associate mineral. In here, we know more detail the mineralization, the chemical formula, properties, and technology or use application from the minerals and properties. It is guidance to us for choose or select the equipment in the tin processing to get higher tin concentrate. In bottom, this is a picture of several mineral from tin mineral, cassiterite, and others associate minerals. Okay, back to smelting process. This is the reverberatory furnace. We use reverberatory furnace at least for approximate 40 years, and currently we just have 6 reverberatory furnace. In 10 years ago we have 10 furnace, but currently we just have 6 furnace because of the production from our mining. Our reverberatory furnace have capacity for smelting ore in 50 ton per day, and for smelting the slag is 25. This is some part on the reverberatory furnace. On top furnace, there is a hopper. The function of hopper is to save the buffer stock, to locate the buffer stock of mixing composition before the mixing the composition materials will be charged into the furnace. And then this the furnace itself. There's a rabbling door. Rabbling door is door for do rabbling activity. The rabbling activity purpose to mixing the composition materials to make the smelting process faster. And the two side of the reverberatory furnace, we have a regenerator. Regenerator function is to keep or to save the temperature for the temperature from the off gas, and it will use on the next burning process. Okay, in the reverb, the burner located into different position, the left one and the right one. We use the burner alternate in 1 hour. The first hour in the left side and the next hour in the right side. So we need the regenerator to hold or save the temperature. Hold the temperature. If we change the burner, we don't inject the cold air into furnace, because the cold air will interfere or influence the temperature in furnace. It will bring temperature into below temperature, and it's not good for the process. And our refractory mostly in silica. Also, the refractory also have alumina, and then hematite, and then CaO, and so on. The lifespan of the furnace is around 22 months. After 22 months, we will demolish the refractory and we will change the refractory with the new one. And beside the refractory, we also the steel construction to make sure the building in the rigid position. And this is another picture of refractory, our refractory. This is from back side, and this one from the front side. And this picture is when the smell in the top is a picture of tapping process of tin concentrate smelting in first stage smelting. We use some equipment called forhat. In forhat, we could separate the tin and slag because of their different of specific gravity. The crude tin have a higher density, so it will move from some position in the forhat into the other position, and then the slag is will on the top surface and in top surface of crude tin, and it will flow in the nearest canal or launder. And this is the parameter of the tin or smelting, tin concentrate smelting. The temperature is around 1350, and the pressure is minus 0.02 inch water gauge. If we refer into this parameter, especially pressure, beside from the reference, it's also from our experience in smelting. And then there's the fuel, combustion, air, and then time for smelt is 24 hour to smelt 50 ton ore of tin concentrate. And then below, this is a process of tin slag smelting. We smelt first slag in the second stage. You can see from the picture that the color is brighter. It means the temperature is higher than the first smelt stage. The temperature that we need is higher. It around 1450. The pressure is lower, and fuel is higher because we need higher temperature for smelt the slag. Combustion air is below. Then the before process time is 24 hours to smelt 25 ton of first slag. And this is some chemical reaction in the laboratory furnace. At least reaction in refurb consists of three reaction. First is burning burning the fuel to get the heat and energy that we need to smelt the tin concentrate to reduce or to reduct the tin concentrate into tin metal. This is the first reaction, and the second one is the reduction process. From SnO2, it will react with the carbon monoxide. Two carbon monoxide will produce tin liquid, the gas, and so on. And this is and the third reaction is slag making. The slag making initially with the decomposition reaction of limestone. The limestone will be decomposition into CaO and CaO. The CaO will broken the bonding between SNO and SiO2. So the SNO will separated from the SO2, and SNO will form stabilize condition with the with the Fa oxide, FAO. This is a detail of the reaction. I think all of us may be familiar with the reaction. And then this is resume for the reaction. This is a raw material. The form of material is oxide. Cassiterite is SnO2. And then raw material, we also have anthracite as a reductor. Anthracite, we use anthracite because the content of carbon is higher than the other types of coal. Here, coal will oxidize before firstly the coal will oxidize to form CO2, and then CO2 will react with carbon to make carbon monoxide to reduce SNO to become SN plus CO2. And then the limestone as a neutralizing and slag forming material is the reaction of limestone, decomposition reaction, and there are three materials, main materials that we smelt in the smelting furnace. This is the such materials balance. No, not very material balance, but the input and output charge. Tin ore, limestone, and anthracite or smelting. The first output is crude. The next step is refining for the crude to produce the tin ingot, and then we also produce the tin dust. The tin dust will recover through the resmelt with the tin ore, and the first slag it will smelt on the second stage of the smelting stage, stage 2 or second stage. And then this is a chemical reaction on the second smelting stage. The first is slag 1 as a tin resource. We also need the coal as a reductor. Sorry, this reaction is not SNO2 but SNO. And we also need limestone as a slag former. This is the flow process. We input the three materials into furnace, slag smelting. We will got the hard hat as the first product. Also, we got the second product in tin dust. The tin dust we will recover with resmelt with tin ore. Also, for hard hat and the slag 2. The slag 2 have a tin content below than 3%. Currently, we strive to recover tin from slag 2 in foaming plant, but the process have smoothly because of technical problem. But in Mentok we have foaming furnace to recover the tin from slag 2. And then this is tin recovery from tin dust. Tin dust will got from the first stage of tin smelting and the second stage of tin smelting. We collect the tin dust in the main flue, and in the hour of gas system. The hour of gas system consists of main flue, cooler, and then dust collecting system. We collect the dust, and then for the effective process, we agglomerate the dust into pellet before the dust will resmelt in the furnace. The tin dust will mix with the tin concentrate, and also we in our experience we can also smelt tin dust itself. It will produce protein with the higher impurities. And then this is our final slag handling. currently our final slag is a second slag, but next on the future, our final slag is coming from foaming furnace that the content of tin is below than 0.3%. In tin slag, it will concentrate the minerals that no reduct in the smelting process. One of mineral is it monazite. Monazite cannot reduction in the current condition in the furnace, so it will join with the others minerals that no reduce, no reduction in the furnace. So the slag have radiation properties. And then this is another slide from tin recovery from tailing. We also recover tin from tailing in the mineral processing. The main objective to recover tailing is to increase the recovery of tin. And then this is foaming furnace that I said before. In Montauk, we have already installed the foaming furnace in 2019. It has been 3 years we operate the foaming furnace, but up until now we haven't a good result because of the technical problem. There's a lot of problem in the equipment. Okay, in the foaming furnace, we will recover tin from the slag. We mix the slag as a feed in foaming furnace. We mix the first slag with the second slag. The objective mix the slag is to increase the content of tin. Tin content in second slag is below than 3%, and in the first slag we have a slag with the tin content is around 20. We mix both of them into some mixing composition that have egg until 10% content of the tin. The goals, we increase the feed content in the feed for the foaming furnace is to increase the recovery in efficiency of tin foaming process. The process is different from the reverberatory furnace. In reverb, the process the process is reduction tin oxide into tin. In the foaming furnace, we react the tin oxide in the slag with sulfide. In here we use pyrite to make tin sulfide. When tin sulfide form, it will volatile in the operation temperature in foaming furnace. It will be fume, and then fume from the furnace. This is the furnace. Fume will be bring in the combustion chamber. In the combustion chamber, we will react the tin sulfide fume with the gas to form tin oxide. And tin oxide form in dust, and then dust we will collect the dust in the our of gas system, the cooling system, and dust collecting system. So the result from the foaming furnace, the first is tindas, and then the final slag. Our target is below than 0.3%, and then because of our environmentally regulation, especially in sulfide oxide gas, in foaming furnace we also install the scrubber. In scrubber we will react the sulfide gas with Ca hydroxide to make gypsum, and others byproduct in foaming furnace is gypsum. And then the refining of tin pyro refining, this that I explained before. We have 3 different process and 3 different facilities in refining process. There are static refining, pyro refining, and electrolytic refining. And then this is our next technology of smelting. In currently the progress of our smelting is around 95%. If something not happen in the future, the Ausmet furnace will be operate in November in this year. The reaction or principal reaction in the furnace, in Ausmet furnace, basically is same with the refurb, but the Ausmelt furnace is have a lens as the agitation equipment. The agitation will doing automatically with the lens, so the reaction will be happen faster than the refurb in than the smelting process in the refurb. So the capacity of our Ausmelt furnace equal with 5 reverberatory furnace. And then the process of tin smelting, either the first stage of tin smelting or the second stage of tin smelting happen continually in here. The firstly is a reduction process to get the crutin. After that, the first is smelting process, and then reduction process. After we got the crutin, and the slag from the Ausmelt is around 3 until 8%. The target of output slag in Ausmet is 4 feet into foaming furnace. In Ausmelt furnace, we also recover byproduct from the smelting process and the refining process. This is such a dust. This is dust from fuming, and we also charge revert, and then this is a dust circulate dust from the Ausmelt itself. The principle of reaction and process between Ausmelt and the refurb is same, but the technical process is different. In refurb, we do agitation manually, and in refurb, we do agitation automatically by the lens. So the smelting and smelting process will happen more aggressive, faster, and the capacity is higher. And the last but not least, this is some video of the TSL of smelt furnace from our technology provider, Metso Autotech. Thank you for your attention. That's all from us. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Wiono and friends, and Pak Fajar. Okay, there is nice presentation, and this is very important for our student in here because the tin smelter maybe only exists in some part of Asian country because it is really unique resource that only exists in tin belt area. So now, guys, please raise your hand and you can ask questions. And for today, the best question, I will have chocolate again. Okay, guys, please don't be shy. So you can ask directly by raising your hand or by put in the chat. Okay, now question is open. Please ask, don't be shy, everybody. Okay, Fairunisa. Hello, Mr. Wiono. First of all, I want to say thank you for a very nice, interesting explanation. There's question, Pak. Pak Fajar, mungkin the name is still Pak Wiono. Okay.
No problem.
You said that in the future we cannot use the physical property of cassiterite to separate it from their impurities. I still don't understand about this. Can you provide explanation why this phenomena will happen?
We will collect the question, or I direct
You can
answer
just,
the question.
you can directly answer, Pak.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mbak Khairunisa, for the question. Okay, the thin minerals commonly separated into two forms. The first one is the primary minerals, and the second one is alluvial minerals. Up until now, at least from the 2 until 300 years ago, tin mining, the mining in tin, we mine the alluvial minerals. In alluvial minerals, the minerals separated naturally. Cassiterite and the others is separated naturally, and next some year, maybe on the future, the alluvial reserve is almost run out, and the mineral is the tin mineral, the primary tin mineral is the future of tin mining. In the tin primary mineral, the mineral from the multi mineral, the cassiterite with the others mineral is not separated naturally. The form is like rock. If the alluvial, the form similar like a sand, but in the primary mineral, the form is rock, and this is the mineral like the cassiterite in, and the others mineral, or the gangue mineral form like the intergrowth. So if we want to separate it, the cassiterite with the others minerals to deliberate perfectly, it will happen on the fine or ultra fine grain. For example, in the 275 mesh until 300, with the size, it's very difficult to separate it and increase the content of tin with the gravity with the gravity properties. So the gravity properties, or the physical properties in here, it's difficult to increase the content of tin when the size of the minerals is very fine or ultra fine. If my answer quite enough to answer the question.
Next issue, I see Pachi is asking for DQ for
Maybe.
Okay, guys. Any more questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, I hope answer from Pak Fajar answering the Khairunisa questions. Please, guys, you can ask other questions. Don't be shy. Okay, guys, if there is no more questions, then let's give thanks to PT Timah. Pak Fajar, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Pak Imam and
Oh,
all
somebody raise hand.
participants. Okay.
You want to ask, Nabil?
Yes, I want to ask question about
Yes.
tin recycling. Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Imam. I'm sorry for the interruption. I want to ask about tin recycling in drink or food can. So after I read some article, one of the problem of the metal recycling is the minimum content of the metal itself. I want to ask about tin recycling from food or drink can. Can we somehow recycle food or drink can into another tin again? And how much of the tin content in the food or drink can itself that can be recycled? And maybe can somehow we engineer that so the tin can contain minimum requirement for the recycling part. So my idea is the circulation of the tin product, especially in food or drink can, is clean. Thank you, Pak Fajar.
Thank you, Mas Nabil, for the question. Honestly, in Timah, we have no research about tin recycle from the secondary resources. For the instance, the tin the can waste or the anything. But the most important things for to do the research, we must consider the technical and economical and then environmental aspect. In my opinion, if we just process and get the tin from the secondary resources, for instance, the can or electrical circuit and so on, it's not economically. But if we get the others element from the waste, electronic waste, and then so on, it must maybe it will more have a benefit. I also read the articles about the recycling metals from the secondary resources, let's say the e-waste and others. They not only take one of the element, they will also take the as much as possible element from the resources. For example, gold and then silver and so on. And in the some country, I think the process has already exist. For example, in I ever seen the video, the process called urban mining, right? The urban mining happen in the several country, let's say the America and China and so on, and they not only take one element, but they also take the as much as possible element that they can take. And from the article that I read, the waste, electronic waste, or the secondary resources for the gold, it higher concentration if we compare with the primary resource, for example, the ore. So I think this the idea it's good for Timah or for Man ID. We will learn more about urban mining, and hopefully it will be some option for our business process to make sure the sustainability of our company. Okay, I think that's my answer, Mas Nabil.
I hope that's answered your question, Nabil. So, yes, PT Timah currently they doing job in from primary resource, Nabil. So later on you can ask that to Pak Taufik when we move to the topic about recycling. And anyway, thank you very much, guys. Pak Fajar, Pak Wiono, thank you so much for your participation.
Yes.
And I hope we continue collaboration again, and this course will be open every year, hopefully.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Pak Wiono,
Pak Imam,
thank you.
everyone.